Hi, it's Art, short for Artemy, and you can find me at CUArtist pretty much everywhere. Today I wanted to talk about having a sort of motivation lull, I suppose. Since starting into the new episode chunk that I have been working on, I have been less excited to get to work. I'm still doing it because, even before this challenge, I was gonna do at least something to plug away at the comic daily, but I just wanted to, have some transparency, show that it's still human and normal to want to avoid doing stuff every once in a while. I also have been doing comic things enough at this point to realize, kind of diagnose what the issue is that I'm facing right now. And I am pretty certain it is because I have kind of avoided doing all of my steps exactly how I usually want them to be. Typically, I will have a thumbnail and then the rough draft, and then I will do another rough draft, both because some of my rough drafts are pretty old and need to be updated, and also because some of them I just didn't put the most effort into the first time, with anatomy and other stuff, mostly anatomy. But since I was so ready to go, and this was a more recent rough draft, and a lot of it was just there was a lot of line art at the start that was just lines because I was just showing the outside of a building. I definitely put a lot less focus into the second rough draft. Mostly it's there's weird stuff on a shelf, and there's a very old, cool-looking cash register, and hands holding this box, and I just don't have a bunch of good references for those things. So I'm like, oh, this is hard to draw, I don't want to do it. But I know that the answer is I need to get a reference to make that easier to draw. But since it takes time to get some references, especially for, the hands specifically, I am probably going to ask my partner to just hold a box, because I had them do that for earlier parts in the rough draft. So some of the hands are already figured out because I had my partner model for them. But yeah, I think that is largely the issue I have been having. So I've been kind of jumping around since I have not had the time to get all of my references sorted out yet, and doing the things that I know are easier. But some of the things I can just Google for a reference. So the old-timey cash register, I just had to buckle down and look at a bunch of pictures of them and start gradually working that out. And definitely the 30 minutes a day can really help you be like, okay, I've been avoiding this thing. I will finally start plugging away at it, even if I think it is so boring. I also think that a little bit this motivation lull is because I have been working on the previous 3 episodes for a long enough time that I have been close to finishing them for a while, but it was also just a lot more familiar of a location and characters than the episode I'm currently working on. So I think it was just a little bit easier with all of that stuff in mind. And now that I'm at the first stages of a page again, it takes a little bit of reworking the brain to be like, okay, I'm doing the hard figuring out anatomy part again. Coloring can be pretty easy as long as I've figured out the method I want to use, which I think I am good on at this point. So yeah, I just wanted to give some transparency and be like, yeah, sometimes I also do not want to do something. This cash register, it's gonna have to have some detail, and I don't particularly want to do it, but it will fit the vibe very well. So that is all I have for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you tomorrow.